The reason that I make these videos is I'm hoping that you, the viewer, will find them amusing or entertaining. And if not, then just a distraction. Just something to take a few minutes out of your day. Because, let's be blunt, the last 2.5 years have been fucking rough on everyone. Apart from the conspiracy lunatics who think everything's made up. And, let's be fair, they've got bigger problems. The issue is, though, that yesterday and today, I've been going through the news online looking for a quirky or amusing story. And there's nothing. And I think it's because almost every media outlet is obsessing about the court case between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. And as much as I think it's a good thing that we're seeing that women can be abusers and men can be victims, I'm struggling to think of anything I give less of a fuck about. I could not care less what goes on between celebrity weirdos. So what else is making the headlines? Well, there's Russia's continuing illegal invasion of Ukraine, with President Putin constantly threatening to nuke the rest of the world, so there aren't many laughs in that. Then, because of the conflict in Ukraine, there'll be a shortage of wheat that could lead to global food shortages. Not that it matters, because with the way inflation's going, before long, none of us will be able to afford a whole loaf of bread. And the only other thing in the news? Monkeypox. So after 2.5 years of COVID, when the world has got to the point where it looks like we're on top of it, another fucking plague turns up. Now, monkeypox seems to be spreading mainly among gay and bisexual men. So joy, just in time for summer, AIDS too. Now, I should point out, monkeypox isn't actually an STI and it's very rarely fatal, and we don't as yet know why it's spreading among that demographic. So let's recap. Sadly, many people passed away due to the coronavirus. And also there's now an armed conflict in Europe, which may lead to a global food shortage, and monkeypox has made an appearance. So that's death, war, famine and pestilence. It looks like the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse are making a fucking appearance. Just when I thought this year can't get any worse, it transpires we're living in the book of Revelations. That's just my luck. I finally saved up enough money to have some work done on the house, and the world's coming to an end. Sodding typical. Also, last week, in some parts of the UK, it rained red. Now that's due to various ashes and things being caught in the clouds. And there was also a story about a woman being found alive because she was knocking on the lid of the coffin at her own funeral. So we have blood pouring from the heavens and the dead coming back from the grave. That sounds pretty biblical. I wish I'd paid more attention during RE when I was at school. Also, the next time I go into town and I see some Bible basher there preaching away, I'm going to fucking listen. Because let's be clear, I've done a lot of sinning and need to find out how to cancel it out sharpish. Also, Mrs. Disgruntled and I, we've booked our holiday for next year. We're going back to Florida. And I was gutted to see that the Terminator 2 experience has been replaced at Universal Studios. But that's Terminator 2 Judgment Day. I needn't have worried, it looks like the real thing may be happening any day now. I've just remembered I don't need to panic. I'd forgotten that back in 2020, 2 or 3 days into the first lockdown, I was bored, so I went online and got ordained as a minister. Now, I don't think there's anything in the small print that says you can't absolve your own sins. Let's give it a go. Forgive me, Father, I have sinned. You're forgiven. Go in peace. Well, that's a load off my mind. In fact, if anyone watching this, if you want absolution or just spiritual guidance, let's call it 50 quid a throw. Just to be clear, I don't really think there are signs in the heavens that show the final judgment is upon us. However, I am baptised, so technically I'm a Christian. I didn't have any say in whether I was getting baptised or not. I was a baby and essentially got waterboarded by a bloke in a dress. But if it does turn out that we're in the end of days and that the Christians have nailed it, poor choice of words given that Jesus was crucified, I'm guessing the followers of all the other religions are going to start feeling pretty fucking silly. In particular, people from different religions whose countries used to be part of the British Empire, because the British Christians cared about them so much they invaded their countries and tried to force Christianity upon them. I've got nothing else to say in this video other than I'm going to go and do something spiritual. As ever, thanks for watching. Fucking first word. Find anything amusing to talk about. Fuck that up as well. To worry, because back in 2020 first lockdown, fuck that up. Bored, so I became an ordained minister, a process that took me 15 minutes. My ordination means that I can't actually conduct any religious ceremonies in the UK. But next year I'm going to Florida. I intend to randomly start marrying people. To be clear, I don't really think there are signs in the... Stopping raining. Behold, a miracle. To be clear, I don't think there are signs in the cosmos showing... I've fucking wanked that up as well. A few years ago, Mrs. Disgruntled and I were on holiday in Florence, and we were having a guided tour. And somehow it got into the conversation that I'm a Protestant because I'm C of E, and Mrs. Disgruntled is a Catholic. And of course, Italy is a Catholic country. So our tour guide, Cecilia, looked at my wife and said, "You may as well have married a Muslim." It's not often I feel like punching a woman. There you go. Just as I finished recording, the fucking rain stopped.